Hey Cap Rising, welcome to your monthly forecast for February 2025. Keep on watching to find out what's in store for you. Let's get straight into it. There are two changes occurring on February the 4th. One of them is that the planet of love and relationships, Venus, moves into Aries, and that will be moving into your fourth house of home, family, your personal life. This is the area of life that rules over healing, where you go to retreat, where you go to find your solace as well, and where you go to rejuvenate. This is going to be very important because Venus goes retrograde in Aries in March. So some of the themes that come up for you in February, as soon as Venus enters Aries, may be very significant when you get into March. In fact, they may be even building up. And because this is the planet of love, relationships, creativity, self-worth, self-value, this also rules over finances, and it's in the fourth house of home and family. This could be regarding your personal relationships. There could be some things that you have to figure out, navigate through, some old emotions or shadows that come up. This may also be a time where you don't feel like home is a home. Like Venus is meant to be very happy in the fourth house. You should find pleasure in the fourth house. But when it's in retrograde and in Aries, it's the other way around, where there's some sort of tension that is not peaceful, that is not bringing tranquility or bliss, and there may be some confrontations or conflict as well, because we're looking at Aries over here. So that's one manifestation of this energy. Another manifestation, if it's not directly impacting you, of course this varies from chart to chart, maybe that before even this retrograde period, you're finding enjoyment and pleasure at home, and there's more energy and activity at home. So that could be another manifestation where during this time you're feeling more creative at home and you want to be around home, although that's kind of like a contradiction because Aries energy is so outwards and it's so extroverted, whereas the fourth house is an introverted little temple. So it kind of can have its conflicts there. So it really just depends on what you're currently going through, what your relationship status is. And it doesn't even have to be like a romantic relationship or a marriage. It could even be like a partnership. It could even be like family relationships, because we're looking at the fourth house, or even friends. Even when it comes to your self-worth, that is major for you, and like your ancestry and your roots and how you feel about yourself. Another change that's occurring on the same day is Jupiter in Gemini goes direct at 11 degrees. Jupiter is in your sixth house. So if you had to go through any kind of navigating or going over this area of life regarding work, regarding your daily routine and structure, or even health and wellness, well, now it's time to apply the lessons and move forward. Jupiter is all about go big or go home. So there's a lot of exuberant energy and excitement here. Sometimes it can just amplify certain situations. So whatever the case may be for you personally, whatever lessons you've learned over the last couple of months with Jupiter being in retrograde, just move forward with them now and apply them. And this could also bring expansion and abundance when it comes to work, especially when, you are the GOAT of the zodiac. So work is, of course, a major focus for you in this lifetime. Now, let's move on to February the 7th, because we're going to have this major alignment occur, and that is the North Node in Pisces will be conjunct its ruler, Neptune. To me, this is rare because the North Node is in Pisces. The ruler of Pisces is Neptune, and it's conjunct its own ruler. So this could bring a lot of shifts collectively and personally. And there can be many manifestations because both light and dark exist, and you got to be realistic about both of them. Now, for you, there's a lot of Pisces energy occurring for everyone, and for you individually and personally, it may vary. But if we're looking at it from just like an overview perspective, it's impacting your third house. The third house rules over communication, your kind of like daily environment, even like your daily tasks as well. This also rolls over travel and your neighborhood. This is also about the mind. Did I mention communication? I'm sure I did. The throat chakra also can impact siblings or even like cousins as well. And also I'd say friends as well. Even though we're looking at friends, we're looking at the 11th house, but you can dig out some friends from the 3rd house. And the reason why is because it's such a social area of life. So, you know, I mean, you probably would even think of them as acquaintances rather than friends, but people you kind of see on a daily basis, whether it's like by commuting, or whether it's when you're out walking the dog, or maybe, you know, you go to like this local place wherever you live. So it's just people like, you know, like that you're friendly with. So with the North Node and Neptune coming into a conjunction, the positive about this is there is so much creativity available. And if you are working on any type of like creative project or any type of creativity, especially regarding communication and expression, whether that's verbal communication or written communication, there's so much creative energy where you can really channel so much magic, okay? So that's like a really good positive aspect of this whole Neptune and North Node conjunction. Another thing is this could really enhance and expand in your spiritual journey or like your spiritual hobbies, especially if you like to learn and research about certain things. This is a great time for it because there's so much spiritual magic available, and also the 3rd house rules over learning and researching, so that can also help you. Let's look at the shadows, because the shadows are escapism. The shadows are the illusions, things not being clear, especially collectively. Things may not be as clear as we would like them to be, which can create some emotional turmoil or can cause tension or confusion, and you don't really know what's going on. That could be like the negative shadow collective manifestation of it. So it just depends on how it manifests in your life and what else is going on. But if we focus on the pleasant parts and sides of this and the positive, there's just so much creativity here, and there's so much spiritual magic here, where if you're really working on a creative project, this could be a brilliant time to channel that magic. And if you're learning and researching and you're deep into like your spiritual studies of some sort, this could also be of great assistance to really help you evolve and expand. And this area of life is going to be very profound for you throughout the month and also throughout the year, because there's so much Pisces energy occurring. Now, let's move on to February the 12th. Full moon in Leo at 24 degrees. This full moon in Leo is going to be impacting your 2nd house and your 8th house. And the sun will be in Aquarius in your 2nd house, and the moon will be in Leo in your 8th house. This has to do with self-worth and value and resources, as well as shared resources. The 8th house is also taking a relationship to the next level. It's about intimacy, merging. This is also deep spiritual healing. And what's a trigger point in this chart, this full moon chart, is that we're going to have Uranus, a planet of change, unpredictable change, really triggering the sun and the moon. And it can bring some sort of unpredictable shift in your life, or an outcome that you weren't expecting, or something dramatically changes from one form to another that kind of makes you feel uncomfortable, because as an earth sign, especially ruled by Saturn, you're all about the structure, the stability, and the security. And when you have this Uranus energy, which is completely the opposite of structure, stability, and security, it can really make you feel like you're just not grounded, and it's difficult to adjust to it. But regardless of how this manifests in your life regarding the 2nd and 8th house, there is an emphasis on embracing the change, because it's there to teach you something, and it's there to take you to the next phase or cycle of this journey that you are on. But when it comes to shared finances, resources, intimacy, when it comes to deep self-reflection, the psyche, the mind, alchemy, that energy is going to be very profound. So look at where 24 degrees of Leo is in your chart, as well as 24 degrees of Aquarius and 23 degrees of Uranus, because those areas will be impacted by this full moon in Leo. February the 14th, Mercury enters Pisces, which enters your 3rd house. February the 18th, the Sun enters Pisces. So again, more emphasis on the 3rd house. Communication is major. So if you're like doing some sort of presentation or some sort of project, or maybe you're just feeling very social and you just want to communicate, I mean, it's a great time. Conversations will have a different flair to them. They're going to be way more like emotional and more intuitive and very sensitive and just more just heartfelt as well. And when the Sun enters Pisces, it again sheds light on this area of life. So this is going to be the main like energy of the month for you. February the 23rd, Mars goes direct in Cancer. It goes direct in Cancer at 17 degrees, which means that any type of conflict or confrontation or shadows and issues that have been coming up for you since the last couple of months of Mars being in retrograde, they're now going to be moving forward. Whatever lessons you have learned, whatever you've had to figure out, whatever you've had to go over, it's time now to move forward, okay? And it may have been rough and a challenge because, you know, Mars doesn't play around, especially when it's in your opposite sign of Cancer. But take those lessons, apply them, integrate them, and move forward, because it's time to move forward now, okay? We've done all that reflecting, we've done all that shadow work and healing. We've got to move forward. February the 27th, we have a new moon in Pisces at 9 degrees, expanding, making changes and waves and developing your 3rd house. So something regarding communication, travel, even like your environment or neighborhood, even like your social circle can be impacted. Even if you're working on like a project, can be impacted by this new moon in Pisces, where there can be a new shift, a change, or a development, okay? And this will impact those that have 9 degrees of Pisces or anything close by the most. So Capricorn, we are building up. We are building up to March, which is the big one. This is kind of like just a preparation. We're taking a bit easy, but the energy is building up. So wait till you get to March, because that's the big one. If you enjoyed this video and you want to see your monthly horoscope for March, because March is a major month. There's an eclipse, there's a Venus retrograde, it's the beginning of the astrological new year. There's so many changes occurring. So if you want to see your monthly forecast for March, let me know by giving this video a thumbs up or leaving me a comment. And if you want to go deeper and learn more about your chart and what's in store for you in the next coming year, let me know by checking out my booking website, and I'll see you very soon. Lots of love.